When Unforgiven hit theaters, it did more than just win Oscars. It transformed the idea of what a Western could be. Clint Eastwood's story of aging gunmen and fading legends dismantled the romanticized myths of the Old West, replacing them with a reality where actions leave permanent scars. Yet, the story behind the film itself was just as fascinating. From lost scripts and unexpected casting choices to on-set incidents that shaped entire scenes, here are 25 behind-the-scenes facts about Unforgiven that most people have never heard. Number 1. The script Eastwood forgot. Hidden in a drawer for nearly 10 years, the script that became Unforgiven might never have been made. Screenwriter David Webb Peoples completed it in 1976, a time when Hollywood wasn't interested in such a dark, reflective Western. He circulated it, but even though studios praised its sharp writing, none picked it up. Eventually, a copy landed in Clint Eastwood's hands. Instead of rushing into production, Eastwood did something unusual. He kept the script untouched. He explained he wasn't yet old enough to convincingly play William Money. The character's exhaustion, remorse, and moral conflict required someone with more life experience. Eastwood knew that in his 40s, he couldn't portray Money properly. By the late 1980s, he was ready to step into Money's worn boots, giving the story the authenticity that defined it. His patience and commitment to leaving the script intact turned a potentially overlooked Western into a lasting classic. Number 2. Coppola's Almost Western. Before Eastwood brought Unforgiven to the screen, another Hollywood heavyweight nearly did. Francis Ford Coppola, fresh from The Godfather and Apocalypse Now, had discovered People's script. Coppola admired its raw, uncompromising take on the Western legend, but the timing was off. Studios were chasing bigger, flashier projects, and he ultimately passed. Had he directed it, the movie could have looked very different. Known for sweeping visuals and operatic storytelling, he might have emphasized the mythic grandeur of the West instead of the stripped-down realism Eastwood chose. The quiet pace, somber tone, and restrained performances could have been lost in a more stylized version. This near miss highlights how timing can shape film history. Coppola's decision left the door open for Eastwood, who waited until he was the right age to embody William Money. The delay ultimately paired the story with its ideal director. Number 3. Titles too harsh. Before settling on Unforgiven, the movie had proposed titles so intense that studios balked. Early drafts were called The Cut Killings and The William Money Killings, reflecting the story's graphic violence, but potentially alienating audiences. Eastwood realized the narrative was more than gore. It was about regret, memory, and the weight of irreversible choices. Renaming it Unforgiven shifted focus to the universal themes of guilt and redemption. The title carried elegance and mystery, prompting viewers to ask, who is truly unforgiven, Money, his victims, or society? This ambiguity helped the film transcend its genre, becoming a moral meditation rather than just a violent Western. Number 4. The opening was cut. The original version didn't begin with quiet suspense. Instead, a voiceover laid out Money's violent past before the story even started, a typical Hollywood approach to make sure audiences understood everything. Eastwood disagreed. He believed the power of the film came from what was left unsaid. By removing the narration, he let visuals tell the story. The lonely house on the horizon, the silhouette of a widower digging at dusk. Audiences were drawn in by atmosphere, not explanation. This choice set the tone for the entire movie, creating unease and forcing viewers to confront complex morality without easy answers. Number 5. Eastwood cut his mother's cameo. Clint Eastwood cast his 80-year-old mother, Ruth, for a small scene at a train station. Yet during editing, he removed it because it slowed the pacing and disrupted the story's flow. Even with family involved, he prioritized the film's rhythm and integrity. Although her cameo never appeared, Ruth became part of Unforgiven's legacy. When Eastwood won Best Director, he brought her as his guest, a personal acknowledgement of her contribution, even off-screen. Number 6. A snowstorm saved the scene. During Money's recovery sequence, a sudden snowstorm hit the Alberta set, threatening the schedule. Instead of stopping, Eastwood filmed through it. The falling snow enhanced the scene, emphasizing money's vulnerability and isolation. A simple transition became haunting and atmospheric, demonstrating Eastwood's talent for turning unexpected challenges into cinematic advantages. Number 7. Hackman almost refused. Convincing Gene Hackman to play Little Bill Daggett was difficult. He initially declined due to the script's violence, and his daughters urged him to avoid such roles. Eastwood persuaded him, explaining the film didn't glorify brutality but exposed its consequences. Hackman agreed, and his performance became iconic, balancing charm and menace while grounding the moral tension. Ironically, this role earned him the Oscar for Best Supporting Actor. Number 8. The Sheriff's real-world inspiration. Little Bill Daggett's cold cruelty was partly drawn from Los Angeles Police Chief Daryl Gates, who faced criticism during the Rodney King scandal. Hackman mirrored Gates' calm yet ruthless authority, creating a believable antagonist who reflected the dangers of unchecked power. This added depth and authenticity to the film's portrayal of authority and justice. Number 9. Harris thought it was a prank. Richard Harris initially believed Eastwood's call offering him the role of English Bob was a joke. Watching High Plains Drifter on TV at the same time, he laughed, assuming it was a friend's prank. Once he realized it was real, he embraced the opportunity. Harris's performance, blending charm, bluster, and vulnerability, reinforced the film's theme of debunking false legends, turning a near-mistaken prank into a career highlight. Number 10. The accent slip that remained. During a scene as English Bob, Harris unexpectedly shifted from a polished aristocratic accent to a rough Cockney tone. Unsanctioned, this improvised slip exposed Bob as a pretender, perfectly illustrating Unforgiven's theme of myth versus reality. Eastwood loved it and retained it in the final cut, turning a minor mistake into a key character moment. Number 11. Freeman sought his role. Morgan Freeman approached Eastwood for the role of Ned Logan after hearing about the project from Kevin Costner. Eastwood welcomed him, knowing Freeman would add warmth and moral grounding to the story. Without Freeman, Logan could have been overshadowed by Eastwood and Hackman. Freeman's proactive pursuit shaped the film's emotional core in a way no casting choice could have predicted. Number 12. A town built from scratch. Eastwood insisted Big Whiskey feel authentic, so the crew constructed the entire town in Alberta. Saloon doors swung, jail bars were real, and plumbing functioned. The tangible environment allowed actors to inhabit it fully, creating an immersive and eerie realism that enhanced the film's harsh atmosphere. Number 13. Eastwood's old TV boots. Eastwood wore the same boots from his 1950s rawhide days, connecting his early Western stardom to money's somber journey. The boots symbolized the evolution of both his career and the Western genre itself, moving from romantic adventure to grim reflection. Number 14. The untouched script. Unlike typical Hollywood scripts, Unforgiven's screenplay remained all white, with no colored revisions or rewrites. Frances Fisher, cast as Strawberry Alice, was surprised. Eastwood's decision gave the crew clarity and confidence, ensuring a singular vision. Number 15. Minimal music. Eastwood nearly released the film without a score, relying on natural sounds. In the end, he added only subtle music, the sparse piano piece Claudia's theme, representing Money's late wife. The restraint heightened the impact of silence, making every gunshot sharper and every pause more powerful. Number 16. Inspired by Taxi Driver. Peoples drew inspiration from Scorsese's Taxi Driver for unpredictable, unglamorous violence, and from John Wayne's The Shootist for the meditation on aging and mortality. This blend produced a modern yet timeless Western that challenged genre conventions. Number 17. Eastwood's one-take method. He often used the first take, believing actors' most natural performances occurred early. This saved time and money while giving the dialogue immediacy and realism, reinforcing the raw tone of the film. Number 18. Eastwood wrote the theme. He composed Claudia's theme, a quiet, haunting piano piece representing Money's late wife, underscoring the story's emotional depth without overpowering it. Number 19. Jazz collaborators scored the film. Lenny Niehaus, a jazz musician and longtime Eastwood collaborator, provided subtle arrangements that complemented the piano theme, enhancing realism and moral weight without dictating audience emotions. Number 20. Even horses improvised. When a horse acted unpredictably, Eastwood embraced it, using the disruption to heighten realism. Animals' natural movements reinforced the film's raw, lived-in quality. Number 21. Cinematography miracle. Jack N. Green used Alberta's harsh weather, fleeting light, and stormy skies to create striking visuals. Close-ups provided intimacy. Wide shots emphasized isolation, giving the West a moral as well as visual presence. Number 22. Union rules bent for Eastwood. His Hollywood reputation allowed him to bring his trusted American crew to Canada despite strict union rules, ensuring production efficiency and tonal consistency.